In our last class, so we have started with loop, and we came to know that in Java, loops are basically classified into four types. That is for loop, while loop, do while, and for each. But the part of discussion, whatever we want to use for each, is at the time of array. So for the time being, we will cover while and do while, as already we covered our for loop. So now whatever loop you want to consider, as I said, the three elements are required. That is, first is initialization, second one is your condition, and third one is your updation. So in each loop, these three are required, but depending on the loop, we have to write them. So in case of for loop, we have to write for initialization, condition, and updation on the same line, and then we have to go for statements. So as long as the condition becomes true, it has to display the statements. So now let me go for while loop. So if I will go for while loop, then what is the syntax? The syntax is quite same. That is initialization from the beginning, then you have to go for while, condition, you have to use a curly bracket, then you have to go for statement, and you have to use updation. So it may be statements or statement, that is up to you. Updation. So now this updation is not always be after statement. You can place that word before statement depending on your requirement. So if I want to print 1 to 10, the last example whatever we have considered, so I can take int n equal to 1, then while n is less than equal to 10, curly bracket start. If the statement becomes, if the condition becomes true, it will execute the statement, print ln, and then here we will write n plus plus, because already we know what is plus plus. So this is the format we have to use. So n plus plus is nothing but it is n equal to n plus 1. So let me execute the program. So I just want to go for the same example, public class print 1 to 10, then public static void main string args, and now here int n equal to 1, while n is less than equal to 10, curly bracket start, then system dot out dot print ln n, and here we will go for n plus plus. Let me save on the same Java PRG location 1 to 10. If you will provide the name and you are getting error, then confirm that each and every time whenever I am starting my class, I am always deleting the files whatever be available in our D drive. Because of that, it is not going to provide any error. But in your case, if it will provide any error, then change the class name as well as file name. So now command prompt D drive cd java prg java c print 1 to 10 java print 1 to 10. So it is now going to print the answer. Now let me explain how this one is going to work. So this is the program whatever we have applied, right? So according to that we will work our output. So let me show you the answer. So as I said, whenever you will execute any program by using your interpreter, that is Java, it always having two parts. One is your memory part first, and the second one is your the command prompt, that is output screen where you are getting your result after compilation and execution. So it will execute this line first, int n equal to 1. So in memory it occupies a location, and on that location it put n as 1. So now while 1 is less than equal to 10, so condition is true. Once it becomes true, it enters into your block. Again, as I said, opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket for a particular function or statement is known as your block. So it enters into the while block, system.out.println n. So it will print 1. Now n equal to, this will over, this is over, this one is n equal n plus plus. N plus plus means what? It will make n plus plus means what? N equal to n plus 1. So n is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, so it will replace 1 with 2. So now condition is 2, 2 less than equal to 10, condition is 2, enter into while block, system.out.println n. So it will print 2, n plus plus, that is 3, the end of while block. So whenever it will moves to while, 3 is less than equal to 10, condition becomes true, enter into while block, system.out.println 3, n plus plus 4. So like that it will continue up to 8 and 9. So here also I just want to print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Once it will print 9, that is system.out.println 9, then n plus plus. So n plus plus is now 10. So end of while block. So while 10 is less than equal to 10, condition becomes true, enter into while block, system.out.println. So it will print 10 and next n plus plus. So now n becomes 11, end of while block. So it comes to this part, while 10 11 is less than equal to 10, so condition is false. Once condition become false, it will not execute the rest of the statement, so that's why it is out of loop. So this is how for while loop is working. So now let me add the do while loop. So the same is do while loop. So here we will make initialization, then here do you have to start, then statement and updation. As I said, updation is not compulsory here, so on the later part of our discussion I will show you how updation can be placed as the first line. Then here you have to place while condition. So if I will go for the same example, this is int n equal to 1, do, then statement, that is system dot out dot println n, then n plus plus, while n is less than equal to 10. So let me show you the answer by using the program. So on the same location I just want to change. So I want to make this one as do and this one as while n is less than equal to 10. So control S, save. Let me make CLS, compile, run. So we are getting 1 to 10. Now let me show you how this one is going to work. Control C, copied. Now let me come to the program part, that is where we can easily make and analysis. So as I said, a program is always having two things again. That is, one is your memory, second one is your output screen. So initially your program will be executed, and whenever it comes to this line int n equal to 1, so this is known as your variable declaration with initialization or variable definition. So n, it will occupy a space in memory and make I as 1. So do, so without checking condition, it enters into the block. This is do while block, so enters into the block system.out.println 1 n, because we are printing n plus plus, so 1 plus 1 2, n is replaced. Now while 2 is less than equal to 10, so condition is true. So once condition true, it will move to this part once again. So do, enter into do while block system.out.println n, so it will print 2 n plus plus. Now it becomes 3. So end of while block, while 3 is less than equal to 10, condition is true. So like that it will repeat the process. 3 is 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 is printed, that means here we will get 9, obviously. 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So 9 is over, so 9 is printed. That means after that it will move to this line n plus plus. N plus plus means 10. So while 10 is less than equal to 10, condition is true, so it will jump to do part. Do, enter into do while block system.out.println n. So now it is 10 n plus plus, it is 11. Then end of while block, while 11 is less than equal to 10, condition false. So once condition is false, it will not execute the loop, or it is out of the loop, and rest of the statements will be executed. So this is how for, while and do while are working. So now let me provide you a brief answer for while. So before executing the statements, it always check the condition. So first it will check the condition. If condition becomes true, that's why it will, once the condition will be true, it will execute the rest of the statements. But in case of do while, first execute the statements and then check the condition. So the condition is before execution, and this is after execution. So that's why for and while loops are known as your entry loops, entry control loop, and this is do while is known as your exit control loop, or entry loop, or exit loop, you can say. So this is the way how for, while and do while loops are working. So make a practice of for, while and do while for the same number and find out how they are working. As I have shown you, don't skip the steps, use each and every step. As I have printed up to 2 and then simply skip the execution up to 9. So don't do that. Try to make each and every line of loop in a proper way, so that you can get a concept how the loops are working actually. And on our next class, we will try to solve some more examples, and on the basis of that example, you will be cleared regarding the loops. So this much for this class. Thank you.